What is up, Broncos Country? Here we are, Victory Tuesday. How often do we have when was the last time we got to say it was Victory Tuesday in Broncos Country? I'm loving the feeling. I'm loving the vibes right now. I'm feeling really good. I know you are too. We're going into the bye week 8-5. Steady in the hunt for the playoffs. This feels good. We've got so much to talk about. It's going to be a blast. This is the Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast here on Orange and Blue Network and on MHRT Network. Let's go, guys.
Smooth, the pins to chew, breaking down plays about to debut. Denver pride in every view. Nothing rhymes with orange and blue. Bright lights of my heart in our view. Nothing rhymes with orange and blue. Nothing rhymes with orange and blue. Nothing rhymes with orange and blue. From draft picks to game reviews, celebrating wins and the lies and the clues. Nothing rhymes with orange and blue. Nothing rhymes with orange and blue. No orange and blue.
Nothing rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast.
Yeah, I was in mid pendulum.
Had to, because we didn't do it last night. Did you realize that at the pregame
That's
show?
true.
We didn't do it.
Kind of
We
forgot
didn't get
about
our
that.
we didn't do our victory dance, Jay.
Too dialed in.
I know we were way too dialed in, buddy. Hey, welcome everybody to the Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast here on the Orange and Blue Network and on MHRT Network on a Victory Tuesday. Whoa. How good. I mean, Jay, I know how good I feel being able to say Victory Tuesday because I cannot remember the last time the Broncos dominated Monday Night Football.
Well, you know why that is, Johnny? Is because we haven't played Monday Night Football on a consistent basis for so long because only interesting teams get spots on Monday Night Football.
I know. And here we are, and we got it, and we won, and we flushed the Browns straight down, and now we're headed into a bye week 8-5, securely holding on to that 7th seed for the playoffs right now. Dude, I am in a good friggin' mood. How about you?
No, I'm feeling good, man. Again, it's another day of national media notoriety where we were the game to talk about. We were the game that everybody, had something to say about, whether it was, the comedic timing of Jameis Winston post-game press conferences, yes, or Jerry Jeudy. There was just so much to take in from last night. That's why I was just so overwhelmed post-game. There's just what do you even start with? There's so many things. It was full. It was very full.
No, it was fantastic, dude. It's a great feeling. And and like you said, national media notoriety. I mean, for crying out loud, Nick Bonito was on Pat McAfee today.
That's crazy.
I mean, that's insanity.
Would never have guessed that at the beginning of the year.
I never would have guessed that, honestly, when we ever. Okay, like I said, I've said it. I was not ever high on the Nick Bonito draft pick. And you know what? I am so glad I was wrong about that because the dude is an animal. But I mean, dude, it was a great night, great vibes, great feelings in Broncos country. We get to ride on this cloud on a 3-game win streak for 2 whole weeks. Now, granted, it sucks. I hate the bye week. I get why it's there. I'm glad it's there because it's going to give us a chance to heal up our hurt boys and all that, and give us extra time to prepare for the onslaught that is the last 5 games of the season for us. That's all well and good. I just hate a week without Broncos football.
Well, it was also super nice because, you know, we don't have the luxury of having a little time in between end of kickoff and post game, but I got to surf the web today and watch all of the Bronco fans' coverage of the stadium environment.
Oh, yeah.
Mile High Magic is back. If you saw the halftime show at the stadium, absolutely glorious. Fireworks and everything. The stadium was rocking, and there's been so long a time here where home field advantage didn't mean much the way it used to.
Not in Broncos country, it hadn't for a while.
It seems like we're getting back to good times. Like the good times are coming back now.
I mean, them fireworks and all that, that's that Walmart money. You know, they're like, that's the Penners throwing it out there being like, oh, we got Monday Night Football at home.
Yep.
Like, let's pull out all the stops. We're going to show the NFL how we do it. And we did in a big way. Not just in all of the fancy, fancy stuff they threw out there. I'm talking about the game too, of course, because dude, it was an onslaught. It was a complete slobber knocker the whole way. Like back and forth and back and forth and back and forth.
Coach Mike Stanford dubbed it the drunk game because it just seemed like both teams just were untapped and just went at it and just had no control over themselves.
Like those two dudes at the bar that just keep hitting each other and they're like,
yeah,
you know you got, and then they hit each other again. And yeah, I mean, absolutely, that's an absolutely great point there.
It was the most unhinged Bo Nix game I think we've probably seen, where like he went at it. He was not a robot anymore. He did what he wanted.
Absolutely. We got Jonathan Blair, first one in the house tonight, saying, if it's brown, flush it down. Absolutely. Yeah, if it's yellow, let it mellow. That's what I remember from grade school. Denver City Productions popping in. Let's fucking go. Hashtag playoff push. Love it. He also he says, let's fucking go again with a bunch of horsies. Love seeing these. Oh, no, I'm hitting it right now. There it is. Oh. Got D-Rock in the house. Flush them stinky elf off the shelf. Dogs should be blue, not brown. Shout out. Salute. I love it, dude. All the vibes in Broncos country right now are like this.
Yep.
We are all just feeling it, and it's been great. The Broncos got the dub, man. Broncos got the dub. And guys, if this is your first time here, or you're watching this over on MHRT Network, if you haven't already, please jump on over to Orange and Blue Network, like, subscribe, share, comment on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. Check out the audio version of our podcast on all your favorite platforms. But then, if you're watching this on Orange and Blue Network and you haven't already, please jump over to our partner, MHRT Network, where we are simulcasting on both locations. So jump on over to MHRT Network, like, subscribe, share, comment on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Twitch. They're even on Instagram. So guys, show us some love. We're all fan-led. We're fans just like you. So help us bring better content to you. We appreciate you guys for it. And then, of course, we have to get it out of the way. Not that I'm complaining, because I love our sponsors. So Broncos got their dub. Now we're going to go ahead and get our dub. And the best way to get ourselves a dub is to click the link in the bio below, take you on over to dubby.gg. And I'm so sorry, my link just shut down on me. That wasn't very nice.
Raggy.
Here we go. Dubby.gg, the sponsor of tonight's show. Dubby Jitterless Energy Blend. This stuff is absolutely awesome. Comes in a multitude of delicious flavors. And it gives you the kick you need to start your day and get through your day, because every single drink of Dubby, or every single cup of Dubby, has 2 cups of coffee worth of caffeine in it. But you're not going to get the jitters or the crash later, because Dubby has no sugar. It also has no calories, and it has no maltodextrin, no fillers, no artificial colors. So if you have allergic issues, or you're one of those that's just like, no dyes for me, There you go. That's great. W is as natural as it gets. It's nothing but amino acids, B vitamins, and nootropics, including their own patented nootropic called Neurofactor that helps you stay sharp throughout your day. And the caffeine that is in W is derived directly from the coffee plant. It's as natural as can be. It's absolutely delicious stuff. I highly recommend. And here's what you're going to do. You're going to roll on over to W.GG and get yourself the dub, even better, by punching in code NRWOB10. That's NRWOB10 will get you 10% off your order at the checkout. It's great stuff. Jay and I both swear by it, and I promise you, you will thank us later. W.GG, get yourself the dub. All right, boom, we're done. Now we can move on, Jay. Let's talk some Broncos. Have you been able to go much more through the happenings of last night today?
Yeah, there were a couple different developments just from a press conference standpoint. You gotta love people in their faith and how they exude that during press conferences and such. I've never seen someone quite like Jameis Winston in a post game.
He is a goofy guy, man.
Dude, he is entertainment. I can understand why players gravitate towards him and why he is just a leader. He's going to be an amazing coach, motivational speaker, some sort of person in the spotlight after his career. Man. He's hilarious.
Stand-up comic.
Yeah.
I can see that. That tweet going around right now about, Jerry Jeudy doesn't throw tantrums when Jameis Winston doesn't throw him the ball because he knows that Jameis Winston will look him right in the eyes and tell him the exact time and date he's going to die.
Yep.
And how he's going to die. I mean, that's funny, man. And speaking of Jerry Jeudy, given, not a big fan of the guy, but giving the guy his props as a former Bronco, he definitely had a massive impact on that game last night as a Brown. In a big way, probably because Vance Joseph couldn't get his head out of his ass and get Levi Wallace out of the game. But Jerry Jeudy put up big numbers last night, but he definitely got, had to, I don't know if you know this, Jay, they had to take him to St. Anthony's near the stadium after the game. Yeah, they had to have a surgeon, surgically remove his foot from his mouth.
And he continues today. He's got social media posts today. One of them being, they doubted the comeback, so I made it unforgettable. And people are just roasting the hell out of him of like, man.
You still lost, dude.
What's unforgettable about another loss for you? Like, what is that unforgettable?
I mean, I'm not going to forget it because it was a hell of a win for us.
Correct.
But I'm not going to, in the years to come, I'm not going to freaking look back on this game and be like, oh man, we never should have let go of Jerry Jeudy. No, Jerry Jeudy was a cancer in our locker room.
Yep.
And he needed to be cut out. I know I'm making a lot of surgeon jokes when it comes to references when I'm talking about Jerry Jeudy right now. But I mean, dude, he had a big mouth. He had a lot of words to say coming in, and we shut the Browns the hell up.
He is the most anti-Sean Payton player that I can think of in a mold. So, I mean, I'm sure Sean Payton, between him and Russell Wilson, was just like, oh my God, I have to get this offense out of this building. Like, well, I mean, so sick of you guys.
Here's the thing. I mean, Russell Wilson, you just said it. Russell Wilson was the kind of guy that straight up, like, wanted everything his own way. When he got in here with Nathaniel Hackett, I mean, he had his own office, his own staff, his own chef. He had his own parking space.
The dude wore his own jersey to practice.
I know. Like, what?
Unbelievable.
Yeah. And then Jerry Jeudy, I mean, obviously we've seen the tantrums when he wasn't getting his way. And then here's the thing. You saw it. You remember it. I know I do. When they would finally give him a chance and try to get him the ball, he would drop it. And then you'd be like, well, what are they throwing to me? Because you drop it.
Uh-huh.
But, I mean, he's doing well for Cleveland. He's a good player for Kevin Stefanski because Kevin Stefanski kind of lets his players get away with. He's a great coach, but he lets his players kind of get away with a lot. Sean Payton isn't that guy. Sure. Sean Payton's the like, no, you lock this shit down right now.
I mean, Cleveland has been that stop for players of where they need football rehab. That's why Tony, the former Chief and Giant wide receiver that just randomly appeared out of nowhere. I had no idea he was on the Browns until last night. But, he's another classic case of Jerry Jeudy of, dude, you think you are the best football player on earth, and you should, barely be on a team.
It's been a good crazy spot for Jerry Jeudy. And with Jameis Winston, the two of them make a good pairing. They have.
But it's not like Jerry Jeudy's been lighting the season on fire here. Other than last night, I think his season high is 90 yards.
Which was simply a mismatch because he was able to toast Levi Wallace half the game. No, 3/4 of the game. And big shout out to my boy from Mizzou, Mizzou, baby, Chris Abrams-Drain in his first actual NFL game snaps, who locked down Jerry Jeudy as a rookie.
Played fantastic. He really did. For being a rookie and coming into a game where your matchup has just been destroying your team. That's a lot of pressure on a rookie for his first snaps, but he handled it very well.
Yeah, I went back today and I watched the highlights for sure, but I watched some plays that I just wanted to look at as I could. I obviously have a life and a job and a family and all this other wonderful stuff. I love you, honey. But I have to. I take whatever time I can get, which is usually sitting on the toilet. That's my freedom office moment. Yep. You get sitting there going through and getting to go back through some highlights. And I'm sitting there and I went back to, and I wanted to see, look at those plays again with Chris Abrams-Drain once he came into the game. And I was I was impressed last night. I was even more impressed watching it back and just seeing how quickly he was able to adjust his movements to stay with his assignment.
It's fast,
and he's quick, and he's shifty, and I think that given some development, he could be another. He could definitely be a great name on this team. Our favorite troll, Jay, is back, and that's Boo Broncos. First comes in with just a big boo. Then I'm going to give Boo Broncos some kudos here, because at least this time Boo Broncos knows who the hell we played. Well done. You did a little research.
You and Isaiah tried to wash that of saying, or tried to have a positive spin of you thinking that's a prolonged Bo Broncos.
That was Isaiah, 100% Isaiah. But the point is, I still think the Browns should have won. The fact that Boo Broncos was able to name the team we played is a huge step in the right direction. You are making it as a troll now. Well done.
Hey, you haven't made it until you have haters, right?
For real. Yeah, no. I can't wait for Boo Broncos to see what I've got coming for them. Oh. I've literally got a design coming your way that's going to pop up on the show every time we see you now. So well done. That's the thing. I love trolls so much that that trolls like Boo Broncos endear themselves to me, and they get their own little animation on our show.
You got your own segment, Boo Broncos. Congratulations.
Not a segment. It's just gonna be a little thing that I throw up in the middle of the screen for a second, but it's gonna be fun. I already have the whole thing in my head. I'm gonna make this happen. So
terrific.
Anyway, and then we got Denver City Productions back in classic Denver football. We usually keep a good defense. You're absolutely right.
Usually.
6'10", 6'10" Mexican Adon Diaz, the host of Broncos Talk on Wednesdays and Viva los Broncos on Fridays here on the Orange and Blue Network, says 2 nights of Baki? I'm hungover already. LOL. Appreciate it, buddy. Appreciate it. So, all right. So, getting back to a little bit to last night's game, Jay. Obviously we have this comment here I was holding on to for a second from D-Rock. That pass from Nix to Marvin Mims. Whoa.
It's better the next day. Pass. It's better the next day.
Oh, yeah. Oh, dude, I have watched it on repeat over and over. And I don't know if you watched Tim Jenkins at all. I don't know if you ever watched his QB breakdowns. Have you watched his breakdown of last night?
I have not. Not last night.
He was salivating over that play. I mean, I swear to God, the dude rewound it and ran it back like 7 times before he even started breaking the play down. Like, he He was in love with it. Chase Daniel was in love with it with his breakdown. Everybody's looking at that play being like, it does not get any better than that.
Honestly, that is the welcome to the NFL moment for Bo Nix for a lot of people, because it is the quintessential play that nobody thought Bo could make coming into the league. He's got the noodle arm. He doesn't have the arm strength. He can't thread the needle. And honestly, you could say the same thing about Marvin Mims. Kind of hey, we don't think Marvin Mims can do this. And both of those players showed out on that play, like precisely to the centimeter of precision that play had to have for execution. It was insane.
Yeah, it is. It was amazing. And one thing I noticed watching it back over and over and over and over and over again today was the speed on that ball. It was as Tim Jenkins said on his breakdown, a freaking cruise missile.
Yep.
I mean, the speed that he whipped that ball through there, it was going so fast that on the all 22, the cameraman couldn't keep up with it. The only way you could see the ball is if you put it into slow motion. It was that fast. In the all 22, like from the above, from the south stands or from the north stands, that above view you get on all 22 that allows you to see the lines. Yeah, that ball was moving so quickly that unless you put it in slow motion, you couldn't see the ball. It was unbelievable. And I mean, seriously, bravo. Just a round of applause for Mr. Bo Nix and for Mr. Marvin Mims for being able to haul that in.
I mean, it's on tape. It's on tape now. It can be done. And I like I said last night, man, I'm very happy with having a game that was highly focused on long bombs and getting that out there and getting more and more repetition and practice, because that's the next step for this offense. That is where our offense can blossom into the future, is having that element of surprise on us. And it was. Our running game showed it. We did that in our running game. What do you know? Our running game finally shows up on the same game as we're doing that. So not a coincidence.
From Javonte Williams. Not from Javonte Williams, but yeah.
He's a bum.
He's a bum. We got Jonathan Blair popping in saying Boo Broncos is a Bo-lever. Boo Broncos comes back in and says, at least the Browns are winning for a bit. Yeah, at least I was skinny once. Who cares?
You're a monster.
Like, I'm a fat guy now. It doesn't matter that I was skinny as in my 20s. Okay? Yeah. Like, who cares? Who cares that the Browns were winning for a while? At the end of the game, I'm going to let Vin Diesel say it.
It don't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning's winning.
That's right.
So, you can lose me on that one, Boo Broncos. But all right, Jay. So, what was your favorite moment from that game last night?
Can I take a selfish moment?
Please do.
My favorite moment was the surprise I got to see post game of seeing Courtland Sutton and Patrick Surtain repping the Travis Hunter for Heisman shirts. Let's go!
That was pretty cool.
Both of them repping that. And tonight, P-Watts from the Denver Nuggets wearing that on warm-ups.
Yes.
So, all of our Denver stars are lining up for my boy, Travis, for Heisman. Let's go. So, just a small little squirrel moment of selfishness over last night.
Nothing wrong with it, dude. The dude deserves the Heisman. And the fact that you had a wide receiver and a cornerback, and he plays both positions from the pros, from the team that he wishes he could come to, by the way.
He wants to so bad. He wants to stay
really
in Denver.
Does. Both showing that love for him. I mean, I really hope that they've reached out to him.
I guarantee they have.
How cool would it be to get a phone call from Courtland Sutton and then a phone call from PS2 being like, dude, you're killing it, man. Keep going. And granted, I think he'll end up in Jacksonville.
I think he will. I think he's Laviska Shenault, another, former Buffalo great, ended up in Jacksonville, and Jacksonville ruined him. So I'm sad to say that's probably going to be his fate as well. Sad.
Likely. Likely.
Sad.
Unfortunately, it is. But here's the thing. As much as they ruined Laviska Shenault, I don't think Travis Hunter is going to get ruined by anyone.
Yeah.
I think he's
different.
He's just that he's just that special, you know?
Yep.
We love it.
Oh my God.
So, just like I said, a squirrel moment, but you love to see it. All of our sports stars coming together to support one another. So, liked it a lot.
Yeah.
Can I go off on another random tangent here?
Oh,
I know this is going way
sure.
off here, but
yeah, sure.
I wanted to bring up tonight the fact that Mike Shanahan once again got snubbed for the Hall of Fame that was announced today. Mike Holmgren is going to be the head coach representative of this Hall of Fame class, only repping, I believe, one Super Bowl with Green Bay. He appeared in multiples, but only one. And I don't know about you, but I don't know of any Mike Holmgren coaching tree currently going around in the NFL.
I was just about to say that. You stole the words right out of my mouth. Like, because I was about to comment. I was about to comment on what you were saying, and I was going to say, like, what does this guy have to do? He won multiple Super Bowls with multiple franchises. He won with the Niners. He won with the Broncos, and like I said, how many of the coaches in this league right now learned their style of coaching from him?
Yep.
I mean, he is that guy.
It makes no sense.
We got another troll. Broncos suck. Pops in saying the Broncos suck.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. Man, you didn't even have to post the comment. Your name says everything you need to. And you're completely wrong. But thanks for playing.
Wrong again.
Yeah, dude. Jonathan Blair said, with a bunch of angry faces, says Shanahan deserves it. Packers bias.
Pisses me off. It makes no sense.
I declare.
It makes me. It's so wrong.
I understand the DT probably not getting in. I understand Aqib Talib not getting in. I understand these former Broncos that we want to get in, but realistically, it's going to be pretty tough. There is no one that can sit down and logically walk me through why Mike Holmgren is more deserving than Mike Shanahan. It's nuts.
No,
so.
Holmgren's a great coach. I will not deny that. He was a great coach.
Yeah,
but Shanahan, I mean, the guy literally has a hand in. Just like Wade Phillips' dad. What was his name?
Bum.
Yeah, Bum Phillips.
He's son of Bum.
There are son of Bum. That's right. They have these hands that have shaped the NFL into what it is now. Is from a coaching standpoint. Pardon me, bad lungs. But you're absolutely right. It's disgusting. It's unfair. He'll get his time. I just hope he's still alive.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest. Like, you don't want to think about this, but Mike Shanahan's not a young man anymore.
No.
Like, Kyle Shanahan's in his 40s. His son, Mike Shanahan's 76, 78 now? Somewhere like that. He ain't getting any younger. And I swear to God, if I'm not, I have wood right here, knocking on wood. If Mike Shanahan bites it before he gets to put his gold jacket on, that will be one of the greatest travesties and the greatest injustices I've ever seen in the history of professional football.
Yep. I figured I'd bring that up because obviously that's relevant and that just came out and that really grinded my gears today.
Yes.
So
yes. Now, moving on a little, other news from the day for the Broncos, Josh Reynolds.
Yeah. We kind of foreshadowed that last night. We talked about that.
We talked about this at length last night. And it was kind of interesting. Boo Bronco says, "I'm with Broncos suck." Oh, you guys hang out together? Even at all. But they're sitting there finger popping each other's, Bronco hater holes.
Gross.
And that's okay.
Grody.
yucky. But yeah, we did. We talked about this at length last night on the post-game show. Was like that, they had till Tuesday to elevate Josh Reynolds, And we were like, but do we?
Yeah.
I mean, Jay, we made some points last night that, yeah, Josh Reynolds had good chemistry with Bo early in the season and during the preseason, but he has been out since like week 2. And so, while the rest of the Broncos wide receiver core didn't have that kind of connection with Bo just yet, it's there now. Marvin Mims has stepped up in a big way. Devon Vele has stepped up in a big way. Troy Franklin, God, I need him. I need him to just catch one deep pass, just one. But beyond that, he's stepped up. It's going to happen. But he has stepped up in a big way. His short game is excellent right now. So, and of course, Cortland Sutton is just on his own, on his own level as far as the Broncos wide receiver core goes. So we said, would mixing it up by throwing Josh Reynolds back in the mix, would that actually be more detrimental to the Broncos going into the end of the season than it would be beneficial? I mean, what do you think, Jay?
Well, I think it's a kind of a tell sign of that he had a 2-year contract. I think it'd be different if this was just a 1 year and we released him because we knew we weren't going to activate him this year, and you do right by the player and let him have an opportunity to go sign for a contender, go get another job and get himself set up for next year if he was on an expiring contract. But we had him with guaranteed money next year. So like it was more of a move of saying, hey, we plan on drafting another wide receiver and you're going to be out on the outs next year no matter what, Josh Reynolds. So like you might as well get a head start in finding a new team this year, because usually multiple year players are going to just get, IR'd and you just sit there.
Yeah.
Why get rid of him right now?
I don't dislike Josh Reynolds. He hasn't been here long enough for me to really feel like he endeared himself to Broncos country, or that he was, that anybody's going to be sitting here going, man, I really wish we didn't let go of Josh Reynolds, because he wasn't here long enough for us to really ever enjoy his play.
And think of it this way.
Broncos Suck has now stepped into the position previously held by Boo Broncos and not being able to tell us who the Broncos freaking played. Whoever the Broncos played, they would win, not the Broncos. That's obviously not the truth, because the Broncos stomped them. We got
a tag team troll? Tag team?
Yeah, seriously. I mean, it's I don't know. They're like, it's kind of cute, actually. I really, and they're pink and purple together. Definitely like Barbie Dreamhouse vibes going there. So I hope you are enjoying yourselves in your Malibu Dream House.
Speaking of Barbies, maybe Josh Reynolds not being from Denver, not being here for very long, has a little bit of, trauma PTSD from what he just experienced, getting shot at and getting chased by literally a murderer, going out, from Shotgun Willie's. Yeah. I mean, maybe it was a mutual decision where he's like, man, I just kind of want to get out of this town. I'm good. I'm done. I'd like to move on.
About that. I don't go to Shotgun Willie's. That's not my kind of scene. But when I'm in Denver, I hang around that area.
My favorite hotel is across the street from there. The Stay Bridge. Yeah. That's where I usually stay, right on Cherry Creek. It's great.
Yeah, man. Like I don't go there. It's not my scene. I'm not a strip club kind of guy. I'm a happily married man who is very faithful to his wife, and I don't do that stuff. But I mean, I love that area. I love going down to that area, and the fact that happened there, it makes me a little sad, man.
Well, there's a lot of bad areas. I believe that's the same strip club that Darrent Williams was coming from in the limo. So, like,
our fans are roasting the trolls with us. Broncos Suck wants to suck more Bo.
Oh, Bo.
Oh, I love it. Oh, it's great. I love it. But, I wish Josh Reynolds all the best. I hope he lands somewhere where he can make a difference. And, I feel comfortable moving on where we are. And, with what we've got and what we've got. Now, I want to kind of pivot for a second to another point that you made, and that's doing right by players. Because there is a former Bronco player who we loved here who is being done so dirty down in Florida right now. That's Shaq Barrett.
Oh, geez, yeah, dude, super dirty. And I don't understand it. It makes no sense.
They're holding on to him, but they're not going to elevate him. And they've said that they're not going to waive him. Therefore, he's just going to sit for the rest of the season.
And he's never even played for him.
Not even once. And I don't understand it. I don't know if he pissed somebody in that front office off, and now this is how.
Yeah,
this is how they're showing. It has to be, because there's no other logical reason you wouldn't just let the player go. Save the money, let the player go, and let him come back to Denver for a season or something. I don't know.
Absolutely, why not?
But I mean, dude, adding Shaq Barrett to our pass rush, hey, woo!
Sign me up. Sign me up.
Broncos Suck has changed their profile picture now to a Browns helmet. So looks like Broncos Suck is now at least getting on board with who we played.
You're a week off.
Yeah, for real. Well, a day off, but still. As long as the Broncos lose, I can always be happy. Well, then you must live a very depressing life. Like, I mean, do you need me to call someone? Do you need help? Are you Broncos Suck? Are you in danger?
Blink twice for yes, blink once for no.
I mean, because if that's the only way you can be happy, then I feel like you might need to be in a facility.
Emotional damage.
I love it. No, for real. I actually love interacting with trolls. It's fun. But all right, so yeah, but I mean, as far as the Shaq Barrett thing goes, dude, I read that and I was mad.
Yeah. Makes no sense for a team that's trying to make the playoffs. That's like on a run. They're not, like done for the year or anything like that. Like, why wouldn't you want that on your football team? He is a great player.
They're still how many games behind us now? Like,
yeah, they're not mathematically out, but they pretty much are with that loss in Green Bay. That was actually the one team that I was scared of. If they got hot and they got going, that would not be a team I want to be a game, within.
For me, it's the Bills. Like that's the truth. Like, of all the teams that we may face in the playoffs, because I know we're going. Or I say we're going to the playoffs. And of all the teams that we may have to face in the playoffs, the one I am dreading would be Buffalo right now. Like, Josh Allen is on fire up there.
One of the positives that I know may be a shot in the dark, but Kansas City is only a game ahead of them. So if Buffalo can leapfrog them, get that number one slot, we could literally go to Arrowhead first round if we just get the 7th seed. And I'm all for that. Let's go. I would gladly take that.
Could you imagine knocking the Chiefs out in the wild card round?
Oh, end their season right out of the gate. And
would that be not the greatest vindication for Broncos country ever?
Next round, go to Pittsburgh and play spoiler to that guy. I won't say expletive.
Knock Russell Wilson, knock Mr. Unlimited on his ass.
Yeah. If we could just do those two things, I'd be good. I'm good for the year. That's it. Like, sign me up.
Wow, Boo Broncos now with cool fonts.
Wow,
like Boo Broncos evolving before our eyes. I mean, a real Darwinian here. Says, the Broncos lose, I shall be happy forever. Cool. Bruh. I mean, one loss, so that you're no longer in a lifelong depression. Then it'll happen.
Are you serious right now, bro?
It's not happening. It's not happening anytime soon. I promise you. It'll not, at least not in the next, in my opinion, next 2 games.
It's a no for me, dog.
Yep, I'm out, bro. But hey, you keep keep evolving. Yeah. It's like a freaking Pokemon here, man. Like, the next evolution of Boo Broncos. I choose you.
Rare candy. Go on Cinnabar Island. Up and down.
Get some potions. Do some battles with some Pokemon trainers. Do you get your evolution there, Boo Broncos? Well done. All right. So moving on. Let's talk about the season as a whole, Jay. Because I kind of felt like this week we can lay back a bit on our show.
Yeah.
And we can discuss a little bit more about the actual season as a whole, because we have a bye week. We have a moment to breathe. We're not having to focus, just on yesterday's game and then next week's game, because there isn't a next week's game. So we have some time. We have some time to sit back and relax. I'm not going to relax. I'm always hyped up. You know that, but you get my meaning.
It's
just
nice
from your point of view. Yeah, go.
No, I was just going to say, it's just really nice to be in a position where we don't have to look at, and I don't remember if it was Andrew Mason who said this or someone said this, of like, hey, Broncos country, stop looking at the schedules of the Bengals and the Colts and all these teams below us. We are the drivers here. I know we're not used to that, but like, we're in the driver's seat. We control our own destiny. We don't have to watch the bottom of the standings anymore for just the glimmer of hope of that something will go our way and another team will lose and we'll benefit from it. Who cares about that anymore? We can now just internally focus on our own performance, our own health, our own game plan moving into the I would say second half of the season, but it's not second half since our bye is so late, but the post-bye season. It's just super refreshing to be able to be in a spot that our team has put us in, to be able to think that forward thinking. Not be so down in the dumps.
Yes. And by the way, before I make my point to that, I want to bring this up. I just noticed something, and I'm pretty sure that I'm really pissing off Boo Broncos, because now I'm absolutely positive that Broncos suck is just Boo Broncos trying to be two trolls, trying to troll us twice, because the evolution of Boo Broncos that I gave them the love on there also happens to appear on the most recent comment of Broncos suck. Same helmet, same picture, pretty much the same message in both of them, just back to back. So, and they now say, oh, those Broncos, they might be good at bucking, but on the field, they seem to be more like cuddly ponies. Have you ever been kicked by a pony? Do you have any idea how painful that is? I'm just saying. And you know what? They are good at bucking. All Broncos country is great at bucking, and my wife loves it.
Gross.
Oh, my God.
MHRT Network, Avs complete comeback down 4-0, win 5-4.
No way! And that's with Georgiev getting pulled after that fourth goal, and we don't give up another. Well, we don't give up another one. What is it? Underwood. I can't remember what the new goalie's last name is. Gosh, I should know this, but he's only been with our team for a hot second. But heck yeah, man, that's huge.
It is. Jonathan Blair says, I've been bucked off of a cow. Hey, Jonathan, I'm pretty sure the cow that you got bucked off of was Boo Bronco's mother. So,
your mother.
Oh,
hey,
my
you know
God.
What? You want to troll me on my show? I'm going to troll you right back. So, but anyway, no, like to your point, what you were saying before, great on the Avs. Great on the Avs.
Dude, that's a big deal. What a swing of momentum for that team.
And now we just need the Nuggets to get it done tonight.
Well, they will. Yeah. Draymond Green's not playing. We're going to get that done versus
I know. I'm just saying, to get a Broncos win, an Avalanche win, and a Nuggets win in a 24-hour period, nothing feels better.
Yep.
Nothing. But to your point, though, what you were getting to there when you were talking about, being able, the position our team has put us in, to not have to be looking behind but looking forward. Isaiah and I were talking about this. We said it on the pregame show yesterday. It feels good to finally be in a place where we're being the ones being chased, not the ones doing the chasing. Like, there are teams trying to catch up to us now. They're like, oh shit, we got to catch up to the Broncos.
Yeah.
Not the Broncos. We're not having to sit here and be like, well, if we can get this done and you can get that done, maybe we can knock the Dolphins out. No, we're not that anymore. Now it's other teams. It's the Colts. It's the Dolphins. It's I'm trying to remember who else is in that chase right there with them.
Colts, Bengals, Dolphins.
Yeah, all of them being like being like, oh man, if we can get this done and that done, and then this team can win this game and this team loses this game, we can knock the Broncos out. Like, that feels so good. Boo, Broncos. I shall take this no longer. Hey, you came you came to our show, pal. Anyway.
Honestly, if I was one of those teams, wouldn't you honestly look at the teams that are in the slots right now for the playoffs and say the Broncos are probably the team that's not going to slide down? And you're probably looking at like the Chargers to start losing and slide down. That would be, at least I think, the team to pick off and say, ooh, that's the team.
That's the thing is, like, to your point of what Andrew Mason said about quit looking at the schedules of the teams behind us, I think that's a very important point. But at the same time, I think it's also important to be looking at the schedules of the teams above us. And the Chiefs have a full-blown gauntlet ahead of them.
They do.
And the Chargers, pretty much the same thing.
Yep.
The funny thing is, even though the Chiefs are ahead of us, or there's a Chiefs game ahead of us, I'm not nervous about it.
Nope.
I'm not. Boo Broncos says, Boo Broncos doesn't belong here. There's the door. But yeah, looking at the schedules of those above us, cut to your point there, Jay, a lot of them have a lot harder schedules than us.
Absolutely.
So, going forward. And so I'm comfortable being optimistic right now. And anyone who knows me knows that I am ever the optimist. That when things are going badly for the Broncos or the franchise or the fan base or whatever, I'm always trying to be the one grabbing everybody by the bootstraps and holding them up and being like, come on, guys, patience. And we got this. We'll get there. That's always me. That's always been me. And for once, it's nice not to be the only optimist in the house.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm probably on the yin and yang here. If I've been kind of a pessimist, and I do kind of look at the real aspect of like how terrible this team can be at times and how terrible the optics of this team from a national standpoint are. We have been an embarrassment in the NFL for a good chunk of like 8 years, probably.
Long enough that the national media seems to forget about all of our good years.
It's true.
Like they don't talk about the John Elway era anymore. Nope. They don't talk about the years that Peyton Manning was here, or Jay Cutler, or Jake Plummer, when things were going well for us, or even Tim. You still hear Tim Tebow's name come up a lot, but let's be honest, that's because they love to make fun of the guy. But I mean, like, we've been so bad for so long that it seems to have almost like erased our good history.
Yeah,
in their minds, and it feels good to be getting back to a place where now they're starting not only to acknowledge what we're doing right now, but they're remembering who we've been, because they're starting to compare Bo Nix in his season to John Elway as a rookie, and then like talking about, remember when John Elway did this Broncos team is starting to you can see Broncos country coming alive like they did when John Elway was here and stuff again. And it's so there. It's starting to bring back the memory.
We're starting to be the trendy pick, honestly, because if you recall all those big games that all the NFL Network people would pick, Adam Rank would always be the only one that would ever pick the Broncos out of the entire panel, out of everyone. And like slowly but surely, people are coming around to being like, "Oh no, guys! Like, let me tell you something. The Broncos are a lot better than everyone thinks." And that's supposed to be some sort of hot take or like some sort of crazy thing. And it's just kind of nice to have that be valid, because honestly, the only other time I can think in the last 8 years that a national personality has put their neck out for our team was Colin Cowherd saying that Drew Lock was going to be a sleeper MVP, if you recall that. And everyone was like, okay, sure.
I do want to point out, though, and as much as, I have my issues with Colin Cowherd, but I've actually grown to like him a little bit more the past few years. But I want to point out that at the beginning of this year, when everybody was talking down on the Bo Nix pick and all this stuff, he was the one, he was saying very similar things to what he said about Drew Lock Only now he's vindicated in what he said. He's able to sit there on his show now and be like, I told you. So,
it's true.
Yeah.
He's very high on Sean Payton. Those two are buddies. When NFL teams were courting Sean Payton and Sean Payton was deciding what team to sign for, or what team he wanted to coach, Colin Cowherd was his media in. That was his spokesperson. So those two go way back.
Surprisingly, him and Chris Sims. I don't know if you recall that.
Oh yeah,
Chris Sims was very big on him coming to the Broncos, which I had forgotten that Chris Sims was actually a Broncos quarterback at one time.
He was.
Yeah,
yes, he was.
I had forgotten that completely. But it was really, I'm with you there, and it was really cool. It was really cool to see Colin Cowherd, not only supporting the Broncos finally, but also being right in what he was saying early on. And we're seeing more and more of that. We're seeing people, in the national media apologize to Broncos country over the way that they looked at us at the beginning of the season. Mark Schlereth is big on his own team again. Like he was so down on us the past couple of seasons, and it was like
he was a realist.
Man, you are
I appreciated him in the media.
I get that. I'm not like downplaying the realism there at all, but it is nice seeing a guy who played for the team being high on the team again.
Yeah.
You're right. So that was great. Joe Brewer coming in for you. We had a rare Damari Mathis sighting last night.
Crikey!
In his natural habitat. But Jay, I know you were excited to see Damari Mathis on the field for 2 plays.
That actually will be a version of my segment exercise that we will be having here. I'm sure at some point.
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
Oh yeah, there will be some flavor out there. So more to come, Joe Brewer. Stay tuned.
Broncos suck. Decided to change their profile pic as a result of my call out of their identical profile pic to Boo Broncos, and now says my profile pic is better than Boo Broncos. Okay,
it's probably because it's black. It's in mourning after a hard loss.
Well, it also looks like something my 3-year-old drew. And at least I know that the Broncos are better than some of the NFL teams. Okay, well, you still have yet. You want me to convince me? Tell me who your team is. Who's your team? Look, here's the thing. We might say some stuff to you on this show. If you're going to troll us, we're going to troll you. But at the end of the day, everyone's welcome here as long as they don't get personal and they don't get nasty. We're fine.
Yeah.
And we welcome fans of all different, of all teams, fan bases on this show. We always have. We have multiple fans from multiple fan bases that watch our show, and we welcome you. Just let us know who's your team. We'll talk some fun smack about it.
And at the end of the day, we appreciate the more the merrier on comments. You're helping our algorithm, so let's keep her coming.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. That is true. The more comments you drop, the better we do. My team is every team, apparently, except the Broncos. That's that's really.
We're getting very philosophical here.
Yeah. If we're going to talk philosophy, if a man speaks in the wood, Broncos suck, and there's not a woman around to hear him, is he still wrong? I'm just saying. But that's very indecisive. I mean, that's a very indecisive take. My team is every team. So I mean, based on that right there, you're actually a Broncos fan too, then, because you did not specify every team except the Broncos. So congratulations, you're a fan of all 32 franchises, including the Denver Broncos. So Jay, I don't know, let's talk. We still haven't done too much of it, so we got some segments to do. But I just want to ask you, for the season, what has been your favorite part of this season, or the most encouraging thing from this season as a whole for you? As we go into our 14th week bye.
The development arc of one Bo Nix. to be able to bear witness in great detail of watching every snap of this entire season and comparing Bo Nix in Seattle week 1 to Bo Nix that we just saw on Monday night. Stats are so deceiving, but the eye test is crazy different in the amount of confidence that he has, in the amount of command he has at the line. It is really cool because we've not really ever done it. I guess the only one I would maybe point to would be Jay Cutler, that we got to see from the very beginning of a rookie to the maturity of a actual NFL legit starting quarterback. We've cut a lot of corners at the quarterback position in our time. We were too young to see John Elway as a rookie to really digest that.
We were, yeah.
It is really cool to actually see firsthand a franchise quarterback in training.
Yeah, that's true. Because I was born 5 years into John Elway's tenure as the Broncos quarterback. You were born 6 years into it.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's absolutely true. And Jonathan Bush says, "I saw John Elway as a rookie." That's great.
Lucky duck.
Yeah. Right. And then Jonathan also saying, "I shall bear witness to a 3-game win streak." Do you mean a 3-game win streak after the bye, buddy? Because you're already bearing witness to one right now.
Yeah. And I guess I don't take that to heart, to be honest, because I saw that last year and that was fool's gold. And maybe we didn't want to admit it last year, but it was. And so I think our storyline for this year is far greater than any win streak. Any W or loss.
Oh, absolutely. But it does feel good to be on the win streak because
much so.
Win streak means momentum, and momentum, travels.
But that's gravy. If our record was different and we were seeing the exact same progression out of Bo Nix, I would chalk this season up as a victory. We got our quarterback. We know where we're going.
We got the guy we're going to build around.
Buy his jersey.
We have the cornerstone, and now we can begin to put the rest of the building up.
Yep,
it's great. Broncos suck is back, but now with looks like games as their profile pick. All the teams but the Broncos and the Eagles.
Well, screw the Eagles. Right. Philadelphia boos Santa. Yeah. They can kick rocks.
It's still really indecisive that you're a fan of all 30 of the 32 teams.
30, yeah.
Yeah, that's your closet must look like, a hippie threw up in there. But all them jerseys, all them hats. Yeah, oh goodness. But I think my favorite part of the season for me. Oh, here we go. Hold on. Michael Yost is in the house. My dear buddy. My buddy says, "What we talking about, boys? The upcoming game or just how much we love our boys?" Hey, right now, Mike, we've been kind of going through last night's game, but right now we're just kind of talking the season as a whole.
Big picture.
Big picture. And because we have a bye week, so we don't need to talk about just dive into just yet. We can do that next week. This week we can sit back. The Broncos get a week off to train and recover and do some other stuff. So do we. So we're gonna sit here and we're kind of talking, like we said, big picture. Oh, Jay, I've never wanted you more. That was hot. That was hot.
Snotty doesn't know.
Excuse me, I've got that. You got the sniffles. I got the cough. We're just a pair. But
we got to get healthy on bye week.
So Jay, you said that your that what has made the highlight of the season as a whole for you has just been the development and progression of our rookie quarterback, and that's fantastic. For me, it has actually been on the other side of the ball. I'm gonna say, watching Vance Joseph prove the doubters wrong that what he accomplished in the back end of last season was just a flash in the pan. Because, they were saying that. They were like, okay, well, they got better, but, it's still Vance Joseph, And now we're seeing we have seen a Denver defense that has been dominant across the board all season long and continues to maintain that. And I'm loving seeing just this defense as a whole just just coming to life and doing some amazing things with, under Vance Joseph's, leadership and his play style. I really, it's good to see that a guy who has one of the worst, flashbacks for Broncos country, as given his tenure as our head coach at one point, the hatred and the and everything. I mean, for crying out loud, Jay, we used to use his name as a curse word on this show.
He's having the time of his life.
I had the time of my life. Okay, I did it. But he's here. He is, and he's getting. I don't want to say vindicated. I've used that word a lot tonight. He's getting redemption. He's
totally redeem yourself.
Absolutely. There it is. I totally forgot we had that too. I'm glad that you guys thought to use that real quick. Jonathan Blair says 1986 was my first season as a season ticket holder. That was also Elway's rookie year. Okay, so I was wrong. I'm sorry. I don't know why I thought that I was born 5 years into Elway's tenure. I don't know why I thought 1984. But you're right. 86 was his rookie year. So I was actually born 3 years into Elway's tenure, and Jay was born 4 years into it. So, we got to see as we were growing up, the best years of Elway.
We got the fruits of the labor of the kind of crappy beginning of his career, because he was not great.
Our grandfather was a season ticket holder
Yep.
in the 80s. He was a season ticket holder from 1960 all the way until 2015. Unfortunately, we couldn't. None of us could afford to take over his season tickets when he passed. We tried. I tried. I just couldn't make it happen. But Broncos suck is back. We all know that the Chiefs are going to beat the Broncos in the upcoming game. Winky face. We do? I don't know anything about that. In fact, no knowledge means that it's set, it's fact.
I don't know if Travis Kelce and his gangly girlfriend will even make the trip to Denver.
Let's just call him who he is. Taylor's boyfriend. Okay.
Yeah. The stash nobody wanted.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Absolutely. Michael Yost, much needed rest for the boys to get in the right mindset. Absolutely. Hey, I think they're already in the right mindset. I just think that, we had two important players that got hurt in the last 2 weeks, both of which were minor injuries, and they should, we should have them back at, by week 16 or week.
Knock on wood, we've been very unscathed on major injuries this year. We've been an extremely healthy
knocking
team.
on it. I mean, we've had moments where dudes have gone down and out for a game or two. Zach Allen was out for a couple games. We had Pat PS2 was out for 2, concussed.
Alex Singleton's probably the only major person that's out for the year.
But it's like we said last night, this inside linebacker backing core for us, since he's been out, has been doing a great job.
Yeah.
So, I haven't missed him that much. Now, we definitely missed Riley Moss last night. Yep. And when Brandon Jones went out last night, when Devon Key came in, we definitely missed him too. But
yeah, and that's, I remember somebody saying before last night's game that in the absence of Moss, they would probably see a lot more 3 safety looks compared to rolling out another cornerback. That didn't come to be true because Jones went out and then your depth at safety was gone. So you couldn't even do that, but
we managed to hold it together though.
We did. Patchwork.
We got Broncos suck popping back in. Surely the Colts will win, right? No. All Colts dream of growing up to become Broncos.
That's true.
So
that's nature, okay? That's facts. Yeah, that's science.
Absolutely. Michael Yost, I would say the offense rallying behind Bo is one of my favorite things this season. He started out very timid, and instead of getting blasted, everyone worked with him, and his confidence has skyrocketed. The offense has backed Bo since the beginning.
And more importantly to that point, Sean Payton. Sean Payton was patient. We all thought, what the heck what is this coach who is this? This isn't Sean Payton. Why is his playbook so vanilla? Why can't he have any sort of creative play calling? And we had no idea that was for the best, and it was all part of the plan.
Well, I mean, yeah, and that's the thing is if, looking back, hindsight 2020, and I tried to say this a little bit, but even I was somewhat guilty of it at times. When we were talking about the early season and the vanilla play and all that, was that, Sean Payton's system is so incredibly complicated.
Yeah.
And for a rookie to have to step in and pick that up, to do all that trick stuff, to open up the playbook all the way would have been foolish. And it would have been one of those things that actually, I believe, would have destroyed his confidence.
Yep.
And in doing so, destroyed the quarterback he could be. And the quarterback that we're now seeing. It was slow development. And now we're seeing the fruits of that blossoming. Let's see. We got Ray Haas popping in. It's good to see Ray in the house with his fresh sign saying, "Evening, fellas. It's time for me to eat my crow for not believing in this O-line. I stand corrected by their play last night." I liked what I saw too. Still not one sack on Bo Nix. And of course, that's a testament to his escapability, as it always is.
That's a Bo Nix stat too, for sure. Like, to your point.
Bo Nix stat too, but to not, also not give as, a whole lot of, opportunities for sacks on your quarterback is just as important as your quarterback being an escape artist. So good on this offensive line. I will not make you eat that crow. Excuse me. I'm so sorry, guys.
We have our forever check and balance in the comments as well.
Yeah.
And that's a good nickname for Richie Richey is the check and balance man. Because he does. Yeah. He comes in with the check and balance, always the balanced take. And he says our O-line was penalized a fair amount. The real blocks came from Atkins, Kroll, and Troutman. And I would totally agree and say our tight ends actually stepped up and played probably their best game I can remember in recent memory of this season.
As a core, yeah.
Yeah. It was a very good game out of the tight end room.
It was still a great game out of the offensive line. Was there a couple, Garrett Bowles thing? And here's the thing. Okay, I said it last night. I'm going to say this again. To all those screaming for Garrett Bowles' departure from Denver right now, shut up. Okay? Here's what I'm going to say. Does he from time to time commit penalties that set us back a little? Yeah. He's also a top 5 left tackle in this league right now. Okay? And this offensive line is firing on all cylinders as a unit. You don't screw with that. You just don't. And I beg you to tell me, if we let Garrett Bowles go, where we're going to go or where we're going to find a comparable left tackle replacement, because I freaking promise you, there is no one in this draft that at pick 17 that we're going to be able to get. Maybe, but he is great at protecting at bodyguarding for his quarterback.
I will put on record my hope and my plan is that Mike McGlinchey is a cap casualty, save money, put Palczewski on that right side because Palczewski's earned a starting slot from his time where he did get to start this year, and then you re-sign Garrett Bowles. That would be, I think, the best case scenario because we're not going to have the same line next year. It's just money's not going to allow that, finances. So there will have to be some sort of move, something. I don't know who that'll be, but
something. But at the same time, don't forget that. Except now, you have to consider the 1 year of dead cap that we'll have for Josh Reynolds added into it. Remember, I don't know if you remember a few weeks ago, Jay, I brought up that long list of players and dead cap hits that we have.
Yep,
and
they're
that
coming off.
Before we waived Josh Reynolds today, all of those were going to drop off this year, except for Russell Wilson's. And of course, the Russell Wilson cap hit was going to be nowhere near as painful next year as it was this year. So we're going to have a lot more money to play with. So while I can appreciate what you're saying, if they decide to keep McGlinchey, it also wouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
we also need to factor in how much of a bag Nick Benito needs. He's playing out of his mind, and he's going to get paid.
He gonna get paid. That boy gonna get paid. Mm-hmm. He gonna make that money.
He deserves it too.
Yes, he does. But going back into our comments here, Rich says, issue with us is that we won't pick high enough to replace him and our right tackle. We need a replacement right tackle that stays healthy. Well, I mean, Palcho could do it.
It's the stays healthy asterisk, but he'll be all right.
Okay. He got his ankle stepped on. That happens, especially when you're on the line. That happens, man.
I think that's a perfect solution. He's right
definitely.
there.
And by the way, Rich, I don't know if I don't know if you caught it, but we definitely gave you some mad love on our show last week when we had some dudes coming in here talking some mad smack on you, and we were like, no, dude, not Rich.
Closet Raider fan.
Yeah, they were like, he's a closet Raider fan, and they were going on and on about you, and I was like, he's just unbiased. He's a Bronco fan, but he keeps it real. We are giving you mad love for that, buddy, and I just want you to know, as your friend, as your former co-host, and as just a Bronco fan, dude, I love and respect you, and I miss you, buddy.
I'm a wallflower on your pod, and I have not heard such things about Closet Raider fan. So
I know, right?
It's posh applesauce.
Before we get on to our segment here, I want to bring this one up. Michael Yost, I saw a highlight of the difference between Sean Payton with Russ and with Bo, night and day difference. I think it's because Sean Payton had reasonable expectations for Bo versus Russ, since Russ was experienced. Well, there's all that. There's that, but I think what it really comes down to is that it's like trying to mix oil and water, or
personality.
Pound a square peg into a round hole. It doesn't work. And their personalities clashed, their styles clashed. Those two, off the field could have probably been great friends as people.
I don't even know that.
But as far as collaborating on a football team, it's oil and water, dude. They don't mix. And that was the true problem with Peyton and Russ. Also, you needed, one thing that Russ didn't do, which we saw Bo do this year, is, defend himself. Every time Sean Payton would scream in Russ's face, Russ would cower like a beaten dog. And at least Bo is like, no, coach, I know what I was doing.
Russell is definitely a female dog.
Yeah. Jay just called Russell Wilson a bitch. Anyway.
It's true.
Hey, I'm not cursing. Okay, it's dictionary definition of a female dog. So there you go. I win. But all right, you know what? It's time. It's time for us to move on to our first segment of the night. We got 2 segments to do before we get out of here. We're going to have a lot of fun with it. This is our, like I said, we're getting to relax a little more tonight. So why don't we just go ahead and do something we haven't done in a hot minute, Jay? And that's plug into the Matrix. The pink.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, buddy. All right, everyone. Welcome to the Mile High Matrix, where we offer you the orange pill or the blue pill, and you make your choice of what it is you would want more than the other. So here we go. Jay, you said you've already got one. I want you to go first.
Okay. Orange pill. You ride and die with Levi Wallace, and you let the man cook like he has been. Let him go. Now, this also comes with Chris Abrams-Draine being a rookie and not getting the opportunities, kind of in a microcosm of a 3/4 type of ratio of a game, where a majority of it you're going to lean on this veteran, Wallace, that we brought in, and he's going to get burned, but he's the vet. And we're going to ride with, 25% of a rookie. So that's orange pill. Now, blue pill is the steadiness of a guy that's been on the roster. He knows VJ. He knows what's expected of him. And you know what? He's flourished with his opportunities of recent times. And that is my main man, Damari Mathis, getting the bid. If Moss does not come back for the Colts game, Damari Mathis should be the snap one starter opposite PS2, and he should be the snap one starter in the fourth quarter on the last snap that the defense is on the field. So I don't like the ping and the pong of just kind of going with a hot hand like we do with the running back committee. So that's why I want my boy Damari Mathis with that blue pill on the field to show what he's got. Let him have the opportunity that Wallace did, because we already know what Wallace did with it. So let's say you, orange pill or blue pill.
Oh,
yeah.
You're a jerk.
Oh, yeah.
You know that? You're a jerk.
Pill down. Either way.
You had to throw in my boy Chris Abrams' drain on that one.
Well, because he got a little shot, but it wasn't much. And that's what you would give a rookie, is a little shot, but not much. Mathis is not a rookie.
The way that Levi Wallace, this is such a tough one, dude. But I'm gonna have to give you your love on this one, Jay.
Yes!
All right. The way Levi Wallace was getting burned the other day by Jerry Jeudy, and not just against Jerry Jeudy, when we've seen him step in. Now, yes, he's had earlier in the season, we saw Levi Wallace step in and have some decent play. But there were still several during those same exact games when he would have decent play 1 minute, he was getting absolutely smoked on the other side of it. I'm sorry, one moment.
That's okay. I'll take this second for just.
Woo! I am the smartest man alive.
Damari Mathis train leaving the station. Choo choo! Tickets, please.
All right.
Go ahead.
So yes, I'm back, and I'm sorry about that. Children popping in to talk to me. Apparently, it was something really important, which it wasn't. But
it never is.
It is to them. but anyway, I don't like either one. I feel just like Ray Hass on this one. I don't like either one, but because the rule of the Mile High Matrix is you have to pick a pill. Because we've seen Levi Wallace get so burned, and I believe we'll get just as burned with Damari Mathis on the field. Sorry, Jay. It's the truth.
You don't know that.
Yes, I do.
We don't have evidence to support that.
There are seasons worth of evidence to support that.
Lies.
There are several seasons worth of evidence to support that. But right now, Levi Wallace has been the guy getting burned. I'd swap him out for now, and I'm going to pop the blue pill. And I would go with Damari Mathis just for right now. And see Richie Rich is right where I am, which was an option you didn't offer us.
Well, because
I would play the rookie. I would play the rookie and keep Mathis over Levi Wallace. But that wasn't a choice, so I had to go with Mathis.
Mathis had a bad stretch. I think everyone understands that. That's why he's not where he should be. But he also was a terrific rookie and came out of the gates with a bang. And we all thought he was going to be what we think of Riley Moss right now. Now, Mark my words, we might not always have these, flowery feelings about Riley Moss. At least to me, I felt the same way about Damari Mathis at a time. And I haven't forgotten that feeling that I had for Damari Mathis. So that doesn't just leave you. So I kind of want to see more of Damari Mathis in its present form, because post-injury and the things that he's dealt with, I think he deserves a chance to see what he's got. And without the evidence to know where he is post-injury and conditioning and all those things, we don't know what we would get with Damari Mathis. And that's why I say Damari Mathis needs a chance to flourish, because he has shown the glimpse before It's not like there's no evidence to support that. There is some. So blue pill all day for me.
All right. We have. It looks like. It looks like Richie Rich disagrees with you here. He says, "I don't care. We've already covered. I am unbiased, and I refuse to engage in silly what ifs so long as there's a better option." I get what you're saying, but we love this segment. It's just fun to talk about. It's a good way to engage in conversation. So that's
we
why
don't know for certain Riley Moss will be ready to go for the Colts game. We could absolutely have this discussion again.
Well, but he also was ready to come back during the Raiders game as well. So, I think he'll be fine coming back for the Colts. I really do. That being said, moving on. My turn. Mine is a little bit more, this season, big picture kind of thing. All right. You have orange pill. All right. No, I'm going to go blue pill first. Blue pill. The Denver Broncos make the playoffs and they get 2 playoff wins this season. Absolutely finally ending the drought for us, not only on making the playoffs, but we finally get to see ourselves making some waves. However, we get, at least 2 wins in the playoffs right now. All right. That's your blue pill. But your orange pill is the Broncos make the playoffs, but get knocked out in the wild card round, but are going to next season as contenders. Would you rather have a chance to go on next year for a possible Super Bowl, a Super Bowl run, or would you? But you would get knocked out in the first round this year, or make the playoffs and get some wins in the playoffs this year, but not make the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
or not have any chance of making the Super Bowl.
Well, I would think inherently you would have some sort of, confidence within you winning 2 playoff games, and that would catapult you into some sort of contending discussion for next year, irregardless. Sure. But
irregardless isn't a word, Jay.
It is, and I'll keep saying it. But I will say, in the long-term aspect of this exercise, I will not trade short-term success for the longevity of what this team is set up to do for its future plans here. I believe the core of this team, if they can stay together and we can build on the foundation that we have, is absolutely a Super Bowl contending roster down the road. We have the pieces, we have the rich owner, and we have the head coach that absolutely has been there, done that, and knows what it takes. Yeah. So I would take the blue pill, and I would go with the 1 win this year.
Oh, 1 win this year.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait. Okay, so you're not looking for the early exit in the playoffs and a Super Bowl run next year, but you're going for success this season?
No, I'm sorry. I would duck out for this year. I don't care about winning a playoff game. I just want to get to the playoffs. I think that means most for this team. Just get there. Get the experience.
Yeah. All right. I like it. Because, hey, we said it at the beginning of the year. If we make the playoffs, that's not only our new baseline, but that's that is us breaking yet another streak. Think about it. In the last 2 years, there have been 3 streaks that have just absolutely just hung over us like a dark cloud. And that has been the streak of losing to the Chiefs, the streak of losing to the Raiders, and then our playoff drought. And we have shut up the streak to the Chiefs. We have silenced the streak to the Raiders. Now it's time for us to go silence the streak of making the playoffs. But I'm with you entirely in the choice here, and it seems that the chat is as well. We got Ray Haas saying, "Give me the early exit."
Yep.
So yeah, orange pill all day. I would rather make it to the playoffs this year, get knocked out early, but then next year come back ready to take this league by storm, than to have success right now and be able to talk about that, and then next year we just kind of live. We might be a winning team, but maybe not necessarily making that kind of a push.
Well, and everything what we've done screams that's what the team sees as well. I mean, if we were thinking we were competing, we would have traded for a rental this year at the deadline, and we certainly would not have just waived Reynolds, who is a vet who should be trusted in a playoff scenario compared to Avele, who is unproven. So, I mean, that's where this whole roster is being built for, is for the future, not now.
Fair enough. I love it. All right. We're going to go ahead and unplug from the Matrix and get ready for our next segment, guys. We'll be right back with you. All right, real quick, I got to get this comment from a little bit earlier by Rich. Legit question. He asked me who based on that on the transition for Mile High Matrix, who in the hell do I know who has a white and a black hand? Well, when I originally designed that segment, Isaiah and I were still the co-hosts, white guy and a black guy, and I initially had designed it with two white hands. And Isaiah was like, "Where's the representation, man? There's two of us on this show. One's white, one's black. Where's the representation, bro?" So I went back and I actually, when I was doing the design work, I actually took the little dropper that you can use in editing software for color pull. I actually took a picture of Isaiah and used his actual skin tone as that and made that black hand. And I was like, there's your representation, you whiner. And I've never changed it. So that's why there's a white hand and a black hand. So, all right. So now it's time. Broncos suck saying I am thrilled when the Broncos lose. Ray Hass is already who hasn't been on the show for very long tonight is taking his part now in roasting our trolls, saying you must be having a rough year then. That's basically what he said earlier. Let's see. Michael Yost actually took. I guess I didn't give him a chance to, or I didn't see this one before we unplugged from the Mile High Matrix. He says, "I'm on the other side. I want to see us excel in the playoffs, only because I'm excited to see us being seen as a top performing team." So he took the blue pill on that one.
Interesting.
And I definitely love the idea of being recognized as a winning franchise again. But if it meant that we could move in, in this case, it's a either or in these scenarios, and one is determined by the other. All outcomes are determined.
That would definitely draw some additional attention from a free agency standpoint. You may be able to get a couple other people on the cheap that want to,
it would
go on a run.
It would, but in this situation, popping the pill means that we exit early this year, but then we can return next year as that powerhouse that you're talking about. It's a would you rather scenario. It's not necessarily like all logic and all that. It's just a would you rather this happen or this happen. So in this situation, I understand your thought process there, Mike, and I respect it. But I'll still stick with my early exit this year for an absolute just kick-ass next season. Jonathan Blair says, "I've blocked Broncos suck. Too annoying for me at this point." That's all well and good, my friend.
To each their own.
Like I said, I allow everyone to keep their opinions and throw their opinions out there in the chat as long as they don't make it personal and as long as they don't get nasty. Otherwise, then I'll start bouncing people. But at the moment, Broncos suck is just being it's like a fly you got to swat away every now and then. A dry fart. All right, so let's move on. Last segment before we get out of here, guys. This is the phrase is incomplete. All right. So, welcome everybody to the phrase is incomplete. It's a very simple concept. We make one or two. It's getting we're running kind of long here, Jay. Do you want to do just one or do you want to do two each?
Let's do one.
All right, one each tonight. We each make a statement. In that statement, we leave blank, making the phrase incomplete. And then we take turns and filling in that blank with our answer for it. And you in the chat do the same. So do you want to go first, buddy, or do you want me to?
I'll go first.
All right.
So my phrase is the Broncos need to win blank more games for Sean Payton to be coach of the year.
Ooh, I like that. All right.
He's on the cusp. He's in the discussion now. It's just what's needed more.
So is Mike Tomlin.
Deserved.
But I really think this is tough.
4 games left.
To just talk about it. Yeah, 4 games? Is it just 4?
4, I think.
5. We've got
5
the Colts.
weeks.
5 weeks. Yeah, you're right. Colts,
Chargers,
Bengals, Chiefs. You're right. Yep. 4 games left. Okay, so the way I'm seeing this, I want to believe that the NFL can be unbiased as far as wins losses go, and just look at what they've accomplished. Where Mike Tomlin is a very accomplished coach. He's held that position as the head coach of the Steelers down for how long now? 12?
Long time.
Years?
Yeah.
And in that time, he has never had a losing season. Let's be honest. It's true. Yep. He has never had a losing season. And really the only thing different this year is that we saw Russell Wilson leave, an absolute just abysmal performance on the Denver Broncos and come and have a great performance as a Steeler. That's really the only thing, in my opinion, in Mike Tomlin's wheelhouse right now that's any different than it has been any other season. Sean Payton, on the other hand, has what's going on for him is he's got a young franchise with a rookie quarterback who has a winning record and is now making waves and as a real threat in the NFL. He's taken a franchise that was floundering, that was circling the drain, and he's not only built it back up, but he's done so pretty damn quickly. So for me, I mean, unbiased, orange lens is off. Oh my God, I'm blind. But orange lens is off. I think of the two of them, Sean Payton's already more deserving than Mike Tomlin is of that position. Now, that being said, we know that the NFL is not going to be unbiased about it. And we know that wins are going to be a factor. So because the Steelers are right now 9-3,
correct?
Right? Yeah, they're one up on us. They are one up on us right now, in terms of win-loss record.
I may throw out the third person that honestly I think would probably win it before Mike Tomlin. That'd be Kevin O'Connell, because the Minnesota Vikings have Sam Darnold as their quarterback, first time on their team.
Yeah,
not a rookie, but certainly not a familiar quarterback to them.
Well, and
they're doing crazy things.
Certainly hasn't had a great career at his stops before Minnesota.
And they already got 10 wins, I believe. So
yeah, they're at 10 right now. So yeah, I see that. But I was actually going to say 2 more for the Broncos.
Okay.
Because if you could, like you said, Sam Darnold may not be a rookie, but he's been in the league long enough to be considered a veteran.
Yeah.
And so for me, if Sean Payton can get up to 10 wins, 11 would be the best, but 10 wins with his rookie quarterback clinching a playoff spot after a playoff drought of nearly a decade, that right there, 10 wins for me would be, would 2 more wins for me makes Sean Payton the coach of the year. What say you?
I think it's going to have to be more than that. Couple reasons. The NFL hates Sean Payton. Let's start there. There is an absolute agenda against the man. He was suspended by the league. There's history. They're not going to easily give him a coach of the year honor.
So, deservedly so. He messed up. He made a stupid choice that got him suspended.
it's notable. Goodell and him hate each other. They don't like each other. There's history in there.
Well, that's okay because everybody else hates Goodell. So
it's true. I think it's going to be at least 3 out of the 4 wins. That's going to put us at 11 wins. And I think that will do enough with a rookie quarterback with the largest dead cap hit in NFL history that Sean Payton is the guy responsible for making that decision. I think that will make it so that people have to recognize what he has done this year. And I think that's absolutely attainable to win the next 3 out of the 4. Totally attainable. So I think it's possible that it happens. But I think we would need to see some Pittsburgh losses and some Minnesota losses because I think both those teams currently are above us in that pecking order.
All right. So for mine, and then we'll get out of here. For mine, I'm going with more players on this one. You went coach, I'm going players. Right now, the Denver Broncos have arguably the best cornerback in the league, the best pass rusher, likely the best pass rusher in the league. He's on his way, in Nick Bonito. One of the best defensive tackles or defensive ends in the league in Zach Allen. The best the best right guard in the NFL, and that in Quinn Miners. So I'm, and there's a few others. Marvin Mims, the top return guy in the NFL right now. He still hasn't had an actual return for a touchdown this season, but he gets bigger chunks as a whole than any other returner in the league. And Will Lutz as well as a kicker is one of a top 3 kicker in the league right now. So with all of those on there, and it's crazy to think if you really look at those numbers, how many at their position almost close to the best or the best players we have on this team in the NFL. Now, based on that, the Denver Broncos will have blank selections to the Pro Bowl this season.
If I'm not mistaken, I had read something saying that at current status for voting, no one on our team is slotted in right now. So we're not trending in a good direction.
Okay. So, all right, let me play around with it for just a second. Let me grab mine, you throw it in the blender with yours a bit, blend them together and come up with it this way. If the Broncos achieve, say, what you said, 3 more wins,
3 out of 4,
11 wins on the season, the Broncos will have blank Pro Bowl or All Pro selections this season.
I would say 3 Pro Bowlers. If we can do that, PS2 needs to be in irregardless even.
Don't say that. Not a word.
I'd say Zach Allen's deservatory, but his name doesn't pop off. I'd say the same thing about Nick Bonito. Nick Bonito absolutely needs to be in consideration even for Defensive Player of the Year. But just name recognition. I just don't know if that's going to happen because Pro Bowl is a popularity contest. But
what about All Pro? All Pro is not a popularity contest.
That's true.
So what would you? Should I change it to All Pro then?
All Pro, I would only say 1, and it's going to be PS2.
Okay. All right.
I don't know. We're not at that point yet. We're just now getting nationally recognized. And that is the scale of everyone wants to play your team on Madden kind of status of they got superstars and we're just not that team yet. We could get to that point, but we're anonymous crush. We're the anonymous donors. That's the whole stick of this year is we're not supposed to be doing this. And rarely do candidates for season awards like that get recognized when they're not supposed to preseason.
That's fair.
It's the same old.
I'm going to go with 2.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to fill in my own blank with 2. Obviously, just like you said, PS2 is a shoo-in.
Should be.
He's unanimously recognized across the NFL as maybe not unanimously, but damn near close as the best shutdown corner in the NFL. So he makes it. I'm going to go with Nick Bonitto though. On the trajectory he's at, and the Broncos are getting nationally recognized, but just the fact that he appeared this morning on Pat McAfee.
That's big.
That's huge.
That's a swing.
And so, that shows that he is getting recognized as an individual by the national media as well. Even if it's just Pat McAfee. But hey, all the other national media guys watch Pat. Okay? They pay attention to Pat's show too. So he has him on now. They're all paying attention. They all see him. He's got these stats, the trajectory he's on. I think he will overtake the current sack leader, or if he's not already. I don't think he is. I think he's tied right now with the sack leader. So he's tied for sack leader right now, but I think he overtakes that and becomes the sack leader in the NFL. So I think Nick Bonitto as well. The two of them become our selections. I'd love it for it to be more, but
it's fair.
Yeah. So there you go. All right, guys, that's been The Phrase is Incomplete. And we've had a blast with you guys tonight here on Nothing Rhymes. We've gone an hour and 40 minutes, way longer than we normally go. But hey, it's a long week, so we went for a little bit of a long show. A lot of fun with you guys. We love you, Broncos Country, and we appreciate everybody who tuned in, stayed with us, interacted with us in the chat. And if you weren't, and you were just watching, I hope in the future you feel comfortable enough to jump in the chat and interact with us, because we really appreciate that. We love doing that. If you guys have not already, please like, subscribe, share, comment over on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and check out the audio version of all of Orange and Blue Network's podcasts for Orange and Blue Network. But if you're on Orange and Blue Network watching this right now, please go on over to MHRT Network on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, even on Instagram. Like, subscribe, share, and comment there as well. We appreciate it. As I've said earlier in the show, we are entirely fan-led. Both networks are entirely fan-led. We are fans just like you, trying to bring you awesome fan-led content. And every little bit helps us help you. So we appreciate you, Broncos Country. We appreciate you, Orange and Blue crew. We will be back tomorrow night with Broncos Talk, hosted by Adon Diaz and Ty Y, the fantasy guy, who's been out for a little while. Not sure exactly yet on a return for him. He will be back eventually, but right now it's been just Adon. It's been just fine though, as a solo act. But Broncos Talk will be tomorrow night on Wednesday night, 8765. Friday, for those that speak Spanish or know people that do or want to watch a Broncos podcast entirely in Spanish, fan-led, Viva los Broncos goes live Friday nights on both networks, 8765. There will obviously be no Get Bucked Game Day show or Buck Your Feelings post-game show this week, as there is no Broncos game this week. We get a weekend off, Jay. No, I'm just kidding. Nice. I'm going to be sad. I'm going to be sad about it, actually.
And there's no college football. It's going to be a depressing weekend.
It's going to suck. But anyway, guys, we appreciate you being with us this whole time. We're going to let you get to your night, go get some sleep, and hopefully you have a wonderful rest of your week. We will be back on this show next Tuesday night at 9876. Thank you, Broncos Country. Thank you, Orange and Blue crew. We're going to leave you with a big Mile High salute. And we are out of here. Go Broncos.
Orange and Blue, we're here for you. Talking Broncos all day through. No stopping us, we're on the loose. Come join the crew, no bad news. Podcast vibes so fresh and true. Nothing rhymes with Orange and Blue. Catching up on all that we knew. Hit play, let the episode